on with you, man?
It's been a long week, and I know it's just Wednesday.
So Monday, for some reason, I thought it was Friday. I no explanation. I just did. Um, cheers.
Hell yeah.
We did a podcast yesterday and it was literally 20 minutes of just nothing but corruption, new corruption, people being investigated and stuff. And in my comments section, some lady said, "Hey, styrofoam gives people cancer. It's bad for the environment." And I was like, out of everything you just heard and saw, this is what you remember.
See, I love the internet, Sean. It brings us closer together.
Okay, there is a Netflix show called Dating Older, I think is the name. You'll have to tag it in the deal. It's
hmm
over 60s dating.
Oh, hell yeah.
Michelle Obama is the executive producer.
Really?
It is I I'm not a binge watcher because I just don't have time to watch. I watched 3 episodes of it, and it is a freak show. And then really sweet, nice, great people who you go, I hope they find somebody, and then you go, well, not that guy, anybody, that guy. It's uh, it's pretty priceless, and it's shot in Atlanta, so it's not just a bunch of old white people. I mean, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
cross culturally pretty interesting. I haven't seen any Asians, Latinos, or Indians yet, but it's coming. Yeah, yeah.
I, I honestly wonder how the Indian episode is going to be.
Well, you know, making show was quite a hit over here, as you know.
hmm
I
Yep.
mean, culturally, you know, I culturally, there's just a bunch of stuff that we just don't get. And
hmm
much like mine, I just assume everybody knows our weird oddities and that Irish women will be violent to you when you're asleep. If they just then you're defenseless. So you go, I wouldn't do anything to her. You don't know what's coming. And we assume everybody knows that. And guess what? They don't.
By the way, I just wanted to ask you, did you forget your headset?
Yes, I did. How bad's the sound?
Oh no, it's just that, Apple has this really fascinating technology on their phones that sometimes backfires because it
Yeah,
thinks at times when I'm talking that yours is just background noise and it cancels the words you're saying.
that's awesome. Thank you so much for that one. But
hmm
no, I like those. I just forgot them and I didn't bring even the cheap ones. You know why? Because it's early.
I know, it's like 5 a.m. I don't expect you to remember all of this, Sean.
Uh, Tell me what's going on over there so I can see what's going to happen in America eventually.
Oh, so here, I'll tell you business first for the sole reason that we kind of did the soft launches on Uber, but luxury cars only, which is Fuse Luxury. And we also just started and went live with Fuse Jets. So if people want to hire jets or helicopters as well, we have like 450 of them to fly anywhere in India.
Wow.
Mhm.
How much does it cost to get I mean, I'm just curious how much that would run.
Okay, so my office is in Pune, near Mumbai. From Bangalore to Pune, it would cost me maybe around $10,000.
Yeah. And
Mm.
over the 1,000 is a shit ton of money.
hmm Yeah.
Right. What? Huh. Cool. Well, I mean, so my question is, isn't it safer to fly a commercial airline that somebody worked on? Like if I'm or plane, I don't know what you've done like to
Mm.
take or not take care of.
See, the thing is that the DGCA, which is kind of like our FAA, kind of has these planes audited and evaluated, and they seem to be doing a decent job because most of the times they're flying politicians or celebrities. They can't have one of them drop out of the sky, right?
Launch is over at that point. No, that's fascinating. I mean, I'm not a person that matters anymore, but that'd be pretty interesting to do. And you guys have so many people.
hmm
Got to be kind of get you. I mean, helicopters especially just get you through traffic.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
especially to avoid the traffic situation because there's this weird little statistic I'll tell you, okay? So from Mumbai to Pune, I took a cab, a taxi, an Uber, and it cost me like 2,500 rupees, 2,500 rupees, okay? Which would be like what, 50
20
bucks, 40, 50
dollars.
bucks. Yeah. And the funny part is, our airport in Bangalore is so far from my house that it cost me the same amount to leave my house and reach the airport.
Okay. The first time I was in San Francisco 40 years ago, it cost me $40 to get to the apartment I was staying in.
Hmm.
But now, it's got to be 120, 100. Just some, hey, man, neat. So that, God, you guys have so many people. I just don't know how you scale up there. That's my thing. I always look and go, scaling up here, I had a best-selling book in a state of only 4 million people. That's not that hard to do. I needed to buy the book. In your country, I would need a few million to buy it.
Oh, yeah. Like scaling a business like this is quite weird for the sole reason that you look at the demographic segmentation. And part of the segmentation that I don't even like, but would be part of our product, would be the aspirational. And the rest of it would be high net worth individuals, corporate CEOs who don't have time to do all of this, where the companies themselves get in touch with us and they're like, hey, can you pick this guy up from here and take him there type thing. And it kind of ties into each other because if they book a jet, they usually have to have a luxury car waiting where that plane lands. And
Nice. Okay. All right, just to change subject matters a little bit. Are you familiar with an Indian star and the movie's called Pushpa? Push. The guy Harvest. What's the soap? What's the soap wood? You sent me
Sandalwood, right?
Guy was a sandalwood harvester, but now he runs the Sandalwood Syndicate, and um, the governor of the region he's in won't take a photo with him because it's criminal, and so he wants to replace him with another governor. It was straight out Machiavellian movie. I don't know how many people really understood what it was, but it was. I took my widow friend with me, and we had 3.5 hours in the movie.
Oh, you actually went to Tinseltown and watched it?
Yeah. So
hell yeah.
What I got to figure out, and I mean this in the kindest way, but not really. Who thought this guy could be a movie star? But he was a great figure for what he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a few. I was like, hey, there's going to be a few awkward dance scenes for no apparent reason. I mean, it's just part of the genre. And she was like, my God, you're serious. And I go, I know, but it's 3.5 hours. Broadway show, the movie, all mixed together. It's the because I think we went early, so it was like $6. I mean, you couldn't beat it. But the Pushpa or Pushma, you have to look it up. I mean, it was or just look it up on Tinseltown.
I'm pretty sure it is Pushpa. Yeah, Pushpa.
Not Pushma, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean something?
You're asking the person who has to Google this.
So the only term I think I learned out of the movie was coolie, which is evidently a negative word for somebody that cuts down those trees and brings them in. So
it's basically like it's actually the term for like manual laborer.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But in a polite way.
Yeah, so that's where you'll hear the tone and cadence of the caste system hacked up.
So that's what the whole thing was about. Is he was an outcast. His father had impregnated another woman outside the family, but he was more successful, of course, than the rest of them.
Well, Sean, Pushpa in Sanskrit means flower or blossom.
Well, he wasn't that, or full hero type, which is what makes movies good. But I had a hard time understanding the casting for a little bit.
Hey, our casting is like so weird at times. Like, if you look at South Indian movie stars, you would honestly wonder, like, sorry, what? Because Like at times, Alex will see some poster and he'll be like, I love the stash on that guy. He's the hero, right? I'm like, yes.
Full stash, full beard, but he also had like a helmet head. Like, I mean, this dude had some hair, but he did have some like signature character things that he came up with. And the movie was about him branding his
Hmm.
own, was a hand on the back of a shirt or something. It was hilarious. It was genius. And then the fact that he could outsmart any officials that came to look for the sandalwood that he had cut down illegally. I
Hmm.
mean, there were so many political elements to this. Somebody was trying to say something without saying something.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the nice part about like the new age movies, especially from South India,
Uh,
where they hide political agendas within movies, where you can say it but cannot say it, and you have to do like fictional characters.
and the person, I mean, even the guy that was investigating him was hilarious, and he was just known as the bald detective. I mean, that was all you knew about. So when I come over there, I need to get in a movie now, even if I have to play the bad English guy. I need to.
But I will tell you, like when there is like a famous South Indian movie stars of like we'll go to the cinema theater because you need to watch that, Sean. Uh, if you sit in like the front rows, his fans will be in the back row. As soon as he comes on screen, they will throw money at the stage, like on the screen. So you'll get hit by coins and banknotes and shit if you're sitting in front. It's like the wildest experience of watching a movie.
So why is all that stuff done in why is all that stuff done in South India? Any reason, or like it's just like California to here?
To be honest, we have a little bit of
Huh?
more of that hero worship type thing because some of the South Indian movie stars have their own temples built by their fans.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Well, okay, okay, all right, Pushpa, you need to go see it. I know
Hmm.
you're going to spend 3.5 hours of your life, but you don't have anything else going on. Here's an interesting since I moved us to politics. So a guy named Congressman named Hearn, who owned
Wait,
10
wait.
McDonald's
Say that name
franchises.
again because your phone cut you off again.
Kevin Hearn,
Hmm.
Hern, owned 10 McDonald's franchises.
Hmm.
Top polling person to run for governor. And he announced he's not running
No.
because he wants to help get Trump's agenda through and some other BS. And I was like, oh, that's not it. And people are like, what do you mean? And I go, well, I mean, we're really anti-immigrant here right now. And he owned 10 McDonald's and he was running against the AG, which is the attorney general, who probably said, I'd like to see your payroll records.
Hmm.
It is getting so weird here now. So instead of just the regular anti-immigrant stuff, now now the littler people in the party have come up with meaner ways to punish poor people. So they want to tax money that they're sending home, like
Oh yeah,
Western Union.
I heard
Yeah.
about that. Like Western Union and all the instant fund transfers. It is quite fascinating because even I was looking at the impact of what would happen to like people who are there on the visa I'm on and they have children. What happens when they remove the birthright law? Like it's like a weird conundrum to figure out how the hell to do it. And they've changed a little bit of the paperwork on like the existing green card applications and all of that just to make it weirder.
Well, I mean, government interference in America is to solve the problem that 3% of the population caused by screwing over 60% of the population. It's the way we do things. Here's my take on everything. And I was watching John Stewart was interviewing Barry Sanders. I mean, former
Oh,
President Sanders. What's his first name? Jesus,
who? Bernie Sanders?
Bernie.
Hmm.
And interviewing Bernie. And look, I think we could all agree that we need to do something different governmentally. You guys need to do something different governmentally. There, it doesn't work for the average citizen. For us, with your caste system, I think it's designed to not work for a whole bunch of people. Much ours is designed that way. But I don't. I wish I could explain to people what they're getting themselves into because they are voluntarily walking into this whole thing just so
Hmm.
they can live. And I mean, I got to be honest, I'm not sure how much I care that they get hurt at this point, and that's wrong, right? I mean, I think that's wrong,
I
you know,
know.
and I think that's what has to happen is they have to get terribly hurt. And I'll give you an example here. So there's a football coach that allowed some abuse of a child, meaning like hazing, you know,
Mhm.
but terrible hazing, not just a little bit. Kid came home and he had bruises all over his body where he'd been either hit with balls and stuff like that. And,
Hmm.
and so the city, it's Kingfisher County here, which is an oil county. And they had the opportunity to settle for $1 million. And they laughed at the lawyer, like publicly mocked him.
Hmm.
And then I believe 5.5 or $6.5 million, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? Well, only landowners pay it. And
Wow.
now they have a bunch of workers at the school because they don't have any money, and everyone's mad at this lawyer. And you go, oh no, I remember the case. You guys mocked a lawyer for trying to get a settlement for what was obviously an abuse case. And they brought the guy in from a school where he'd abused people before. Not sexual abuse. This is just abuse.
Hmm.
And and so they're now they're not shuttering schools, but they're shuttering a lot of employees. And you go, yeah, you should have taken care of it. But at what time and how do you go in and say, hey, we need to fix this or this is going to happen? And people go, I don't worry about it. It's never happened. You go, that doesn't mean it's not going to. I don't know how you change that mindset.
Like, that's the thing, right? That's old saying, a stitch in time will save nine. But if you tell someone you need to stitch that right now, it's going to tear more. They don't really listen. They're like, no, no, that thread is going to hold. It's just human nature, Sean. We don't like doing anything.
I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see where we are in 4 years. I am not a gloom and doom guy, but
Mhm.
I am a person that knows British history, and we seem to be following our motherland's history. Because nobody's impressed by England anymore. I mean, they're just not. They're just not
Mhm.
impressed. Oh, you guys were once pretty big, and
Yeah.
that's it. Nothing else to really say. We took all their money. I mean, all of it.
Sean, the other insult I heard is for 25 years, these people have been saying that the food in the UK is getting a lot better. Why are they saying it for 25 years? If it has actually gotten better, they would stop saying this shit.
Okay, you need to use that. That is pretty good. In Ireland, they say the food is better, and you go, I don't think the food is any better. I think some cooks went somewhere else and learned some new things.
Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, England, I would say the food in England is tastier than it was when I first went there, but they're just not people who love food.
Hmm.
So I try to explain to white people why brown and black people enjoy food so much. And they go, yeah, it doesn't, it, I mean, why? And you go, but that's the best thing they're going to do all day.
Hmm.
Shitty job that you gave them that doesn't pay any money. You live in a mediocre house. I'm not saying all brown or blacks, don't write me any letters. I'm just saying people that make less money enjoy food better. And a lot of white don't. And what's really weird is that throws my Irish people in that category because we didn't have any money, but we also didn't have any food. And we didn't.
You were coming out of a famine too, weren't you?
I'll enjoy the mail that you tell me we got. Okay, while we're on food,
Hmm.
and I waited this on purpose. So this is cinnamon, and then I have nutmeg, and I have cloves, and they did not do one of these. I get some different people here, and then this is nutmeg, which is what I'm using today because I made some eggnog, whipped
Wow.
cheese. In and of itself sounds delicious and awful all at the same time. So this buddy of mine that came into the pub with some kind of an attache for the U.S. government, and one of the countries he went to, this was the gift inside of a nice box with some vanilla beans.
Oh, nice.
I know, but you go, that's why they came back and killed all of you guys because you taught them the good shit you have.
Yeah, there are times where I will tell, like, I'll whisper to like a waiter, like, don't give them the good shit. The whites will stay.
Just need enough in here to bring money. We don't need the other stuff. So many weeks later, how are you thinking about the Donald Trump win? How do you feel about this? Because I know we're probably running out of time.
Isn't it getting more and more exciting now, considering the barrage of human being humanity that is on display?
I think what I do is, well, I know the gig. I know what he's doing. What we really need to be concerned with is the people we're not hearing about.
Yeah, the low-level appointees who are usually the guys who get shit done and move the country forward. Those people are also getting replaced that we don't hear about, eh?
That's the actual issue. And you know, people on the left here are all obsessed with the CEO that got shot in New York, and I'm not justifying somebody doing that, but I think that's how a lot of things are going to be solved here eventually. Because I once again was in this meeting and I said, hey, look, the reason this stuff is happening is because there is nobody doing anything for the average citizen. And I go, once they feel powerless, you're leaving them with one choice. And I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying that's where we're at. And I think the combination of that and Donald Trump happening again, I haven't seen America unite behind much other than this guy getting shot.
Oh yeah.
It's a little weird.
it's a little it's a little disconcerting for me to come back.
Think about it. What have you seen so many Americans agree on in the past 5 years? Nothing.
Nothing.
That guy had it coming. And you're like, okay, go this lawlessness. This just goes, well, because I'm already a target.
Mm, didn't Trump actually float the idea of having a one-day purge style thing?
No, there might be something to that, but you will lose a few good people in that deal. I don't want to joke about it too much because somebody will pull the single clip out. I've got Nick's stalking me now. It's hilarious. Not very good at it, Deepak.
This is like the worst thing. Like even to hang out with you at times, I have to look around and be like, is that guy actually like standing there, or is he just staring at us to figure out what we two are up to?
Bad, but he's with that brown guy with the weird ass accent. What? Oh, we're coming up on Christmas here. Your Black Friday story went over very well with everybody I spoke to, and then my friends were like, "Yeah, we do it," and I go, "Why do you guys? You guys are copying us now? Jeez, oh Pete, is that a good idea?"
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but we didn't have. I don't remember any footage of anybody running through the shittier stores and clobbing everybody so they could get a $400 TV this year. So
Yeah.
maybe they just mugged the UPS driver now. So
Porch pirates.
Crazy, my friend. Crazy. Let me see if I've got another story for you before we go, because I got a fair amount of weird political stuff. So we got this guy named Todd Hyatt we've talked about with the Corporation Commission. And fondled another man in front of a bunch of other people at a convention. And he still is in office. So these other lawmakers tried to take it to the Oklahoma Supreme Court to just go, you can't have him vote on cases that have to do with these companies. Okay if he votes on it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, even I am in just shock that this is where I live. Like,
so the more I see this, I always tell like all the people who, when I used to ask them, I think you need to run for some sort of government office, they'll be like, no, if they do some background, I really wouldn't like qualify. I'm like, dude, now you'll be fine. You'll be a shoo-in considering what I know.
that kind of stuff, what I would tell people is most of them are too lazy to run a background on you. Literally, just too lazy. Or they don't. I mean, I know that sounds stupid. Unless you're running for a job that has to go against large business, the businesses are going to run it against you and their lawyers, not the politicians. They're just the local stooge that's moving up the line. It's going to be. Look, I mean, this isn't the worst America's been. Our worst people were the ones that landed here first and for religious freedom and started killing people. Oh, is that what's happening now? Is that joke, bro?
Way to end it.
I know.